All right. What is up? Good afternoon. Welcome back to another deep dive. If you are new and don't know, my name is Tim. I go by Foamy Guy on GitHub and Discord. The deep dive is a weekly live stream here on the Adafruit channel where we are working on stuff related to CircuitPython. This was a stream that was started by Scott Shawcroft, lead developer, CircuitPython. He is out for a couple of weeks, and so I am filling in here as I do when I can if he's out. If you don't know what CircuitPython is, you'll learn more about it at the main website here, circuitpython.org. This is basically a version of Python that runs on tiny computers called microcontrollers. They usually, the way it works, most typically with CircuitPython, they will connect to your computer with a USB cable. They show up like a thumb drive. You can edit a Python code file on the thumb drive. When you save it, it will execute the Python code for you. And then the code that you write can interface with whatever other hardware peripherals are hooked up to your microcontroller. Some devices are very general, like this first row of Raspberry Pi Picos is very general. It just has a bunch of I/O pins. You can hook up all kinds of other stuff to it. Other devices like this Circuit Playground Express have a bunch of built-in peripherals. They have NeoPixels buttons. This one has a switch, IR transceivers, accelerometer, as well as some other things, a speaker, a microphone. So there's a wide range of these devices, 655 different ones right now, new ones being added all the time that support CircuitPython. You can find them again listed circuitpython.org. As always, thanks to Adafruit. Adafruit is a hardware and software company based out of New York. They make CircuitPython possible by paying a team of folks, including both Scott, who usually streams at this time, and myself to work on it, as well as some other folks. They also fund other open source software development. So if you like CircuitPython, or if you like the other open source things that Adafruit funds by paying developers to work on, one of the easiest ways you can show your support is by purchasing hardware from them at their website, adafruit.com. Jumping in today, I am working on USB audio stuff. I will pull up a few PRs, I guess. So there is this one from yesterday, which was the first one, which introduced USB audio module, and it has the USB microphone class. And what this does is it allows the CircuitPython microcontroller to behave as though it is a USB microphone. What that means is the PC, the computer that's plugged into, will see it as a USB microphone. Therefore, it can be used for any applications that want to like input audio from a microphone. So you can feed it into Audacity and record from it. You can feed it into OBS and pipe it into your stream. You can do anything that you could do with a microphone that is sending live audio data. So this is cool. We'll play with this in a minute, but I will also pull up the other one, which is newer from today, which has a USB speaker class implemented as well. So this is kind of the opposite. The other one lets you send sound from the microcontroller into the computer. This one is letting you send sound from the computer into the microcontroller. If you then hook up a speaker to your microcontroller, you can play the sound on that speaker. Or you can even actually do a bit of a round trip thing where you send audio from the computer to the microcontroller, apply some filter effect in CircuitPython code on the microcontroller, and then you can actually send it right back as though it were a USB microphone, so that the PC sees another audio source that is the modified line of whatever came in, got filtered, and then got sent back out. So we will dive in to some of this stuff a bit more. Oh, what failed? Nordic. It's going to be space. The amount of space is probably going to not work for some of these. Yeah, 100.22. So we'll have to go back and disable this for ones that are too full. But I'll wait until we have a full list of which ones all of that's going to be. So that is what I've been working on, is new capabilities for USB audio. I think where I want to start is by testing audio mixer, which I think is that the thing that lets you do the volume? All right, I still do not have the top-down camera situation solved. I need to work out a new top-down camera situation. But there's really, you know, everything we're doing is audio essentially, so there's not a whole lot to see, honestly. So I can do this. So yeah, I plugged in a macro pad here. One thing that we should do is actually just rebuild the macro pad and run the latest version. Part of what I intend to do for today's stream is just test this stuff, kind of explain what it is, how it works. If anyone has questions, I'm happy to answer questions. But part of what I'm doing right now is like just testing, basically, because I've tested to make sure things work, but I have not done sort of like more thorough test it with this and with that, and with you know, bizarre configurations and other stuff. I've kind of tested mostly happy path at this point, which just seems to work, so that's pretty cool. So I do want to make a new build for the macro pad. While that's running, I can show you the start of what this one does. So this, well, so I'll kind of run through it from where you have to start. So because this is a new USB endpoint, this is connecting as a new kind of USB device. The one of the caveats is there are a limited number of USB endpoints available. Some of them are used for like HID, some of them are used for MIDI, some of them are used for storage, some of them are used for serial. So some of these things are already in use, and there are a limited number of them. So in order to enable more of them, you do have to do it inside boot.py. So USB Audio has this API here where you can import it. You can call enable inside of boot.py. You can pass in sample rate, channel count. I think 1 is the only thing supported right now, but theoretically in the future we could have stereo. Bits per sample, also 16. I think, again, that might also be the only one supported, but I'm not positive on that. And then direction here. So here's where you would change for the microphone versus the speaker. If you want to do a microphone, you would do input. So that is what we will switch this to, because that's actually what I want to work on. I must have had a build on this from like one of my first builds on the speaker side, the output side. Because I was just doing builds against this device, but it doesn't have an easy way to output the data, so I switched to something else. But I probably did the build and I set it to that to make sure it didn't crash. Okay. So in your boot.py, you enable it, you set your direction, and then you can even do bi-directional as well. There's input-output. Yeah, that's brand new as well, though. We just did that. I just did that this afternoon. And then here, so we're on microphone side of things. You initialize it in your code, super easy. You get a microphone object or whatever you call it, and you can just call microphone.play the same way as you would with like I2S out or audio out, similar APIs, where you can put whatever you want here. It can be a synth.io thing, it can be a modified thing. You can put whatever you want there, and then it will play it, in this case, through the USB over to the PC. What I will do is I will try to show you. Hopefully this is going to work. Fortunately, that's not listed, so I'm going to do a rescan. Hopefully this is not going to just wreck the stream audio. I'm a little scared that, okay, here we go. So now it shows up here, MacroPad RP2040, USB audio. This is under recording devices, so again, it's showing up like a microphone, basically. I can record and, I don't know how loud this is going to be. That shouldn't be too bad. Okay, so I don't think that's coming through to you all, but you can see it there on Audacity. Obviously, it made some sound there. In this case, it's just playing a scale with Synth.io. It has this, and it just for loops to play the scale. But what I would like to do is make it basically check that the volume thing, because I think we have a volume thing, right? 17, we're up to 17 failing. So again, I'll let this, it will let this finish, and then go back and disable it on the ones where it overflowed. Audio mixer. Doesn't this let you do volume? Maximum number of voices, buffer size, channel count, bits. Sign sample samples. Play voice loop. Dump voice. Did I make that up? Or is it a different thing? Voice, tuple, sample rate. Sample rate, bits per sample, voice count. Huh. What are the other audio things? Mixer? Mixer voice. Mixer voice has play, and it has loop, stop, and level. That's what we want right there. Mixer voice level. How does this API work? I don't do, so this is my, not my exactly like first ever foray into audio stuff, but this is deeper than I've gone before on audio stuff, truthfully. Audio mixer, so this is creating a mixer which has two voices, has the rest of these things. This has called a play on mixer, so that's the audio out. So we would call our microphone .play on this. That would send it to the computer. This is then going mixer.voice0 play music. While it's playing, it goes play the second sample. So play this, and then while it's playing, also play the first sample and sleep. Mixer.voice0. So I think the answer is mixer.voice is a tuple which returns mixer voice objects which have level. So if I make an audio mixer and I can just give it one voice, so essentially I want to make this quieter, because one thing is these come through at kind of a very loud volume by default. Okay, we are at 44.1 right now. Everything else should be fine. I don't know about signed samples, actually. I'm just going to take this off and try the default. If it messes up, maybe we'll put that back or try flopping it to false. Audio mixer, so then we should be able to go mic.play the mixer. And we want to go mixer.voice0.play. Yeah. Mixer.voice0.play the fast, whatever the end of our audio chain is. And yeah, so to start with, this thing doesn't actually play until I press a button, so I can also, after this, I can go mixer.voice0.level, and that's at 0 to 1, I think. Yeah. What? Oh. So I think this means it can be used for chaining. I think what that means is so I'm going to set a float to it between 0 and 1, but it can take this block input, which I think must be letting it get chained with other stuff. You could do like a attack time, so you could make it you could make the level go up over time or down over time over the course of a second or a half second or whatever, rather than just being set static to an individual number. But an individual number is what I want. So I'm just going to do level. I'm going to start very quiet, 1/10, and then mixer.play fast, mixer.voice, mic.play mixer. That seems like it should be okay. Didn't crash. Oh, it's not playing anymore. Does it still print when the buttons are down? It doesn't. Okay. It does print, but it does not seem to send the audio through. So first thing to do is let's take fast out of the way. Let's take the speed changer out and just put the synth IO in. Why is this mad? Just we need different typing or something? Nope, that's still not doing it. Mixer. Do we have to call start or something on the mixer? Play. Mixer. No, we pass the mixer to play. We call play on the voice. Maybe we should set it to 2 even though we're not using 2. Maybe this is too low. Well, why don't we take this off? Probably should have tried that sooner. No, still nothing though. I think I want to... I think I want to actually move to a different device. 1 second, actually. Okay. Because I'm not super familiar with Audio Mixer, what I would like to do is switch over to this device, which is a Prop Maker Feather. We're not gonna have buttons. Okay. But I'm gonna take USB out of the mix altogether and just pipe it to I2S out. Prop maker feather. This one is actually for volume control. Sets level to volume. Do you have to call play after level, maybe? Unclear. I mean, I guess we did. And also, it's not working anyway. So I want this. Okay. Okay. I hear nothing. Makes me think that something else is wrong with the mixer. Let's bypass the mixer, though. If we just send synth directly to here, we should be able to hear it, right? Ooh, plot thickens. Right, but, well, no, it should be playing, right? It should be playing. Do we need loop? I don't think so. True isn't defined. Oh, you need, yeah, this is probably handled in here. Is it? Yeah. On this device, in order for the speaker to work, you need, to enable it. You need there's a power switch, basically, connected to a pin. Okay. I think maybe that came through, but if not, it definitely started playing, so take my word for it. So mixer. Okay. With mixer, we have no output. I am either using mixer wrong or mixer is broken in some way that has nothing to do with USB. Wait. We don't have mixer.play. Nope, still not playing though. This one does use voice count 1. And it just calls I2S play on mixer. This, are we going through all this for... I was gonna say, does synth itself have a level? The mixer, voice 0 plays the synth. The I2S out plays the mixer. But we just get nothing. And there's no... Well, hold on now, because there is a mixer.play. What do we need to do with mixer.play? Why does mixer have a play function? Stop voice. True when the voice is being output. Let's check a few things. So... that is false. Okay, that started. Maybe you have to do this in order. Maybe this has to be played here. The output has to play the mixer, and then the mixer has to play the input. Well, actually, the voice. Because I'm still unclear on why mixer itself has a play also. But that worked. So what if we put this here? Okay. That is working. And at a much more reasonable volume level. So... now, let's go back to USB. Okay. Sample rate doesn't match. Nice. Okay. That works. And this one's actually set to input output. Should go back to just input. Should just still work. Okay. Reboot. Make sure this comes back up. There was actually a bug with the single modes input and output. Okay, there we go. After I added the bidirectional one. Okay. It's working. Did this thing ever finish running? The this? Oh, right. Not quite. 56 in progress. We only lost 3 more since the last time we looked, though. It was 17. So yeah, this will just be a bunch of Nordics we need to go and disable it for. I wonder, I'll look in there. Maybe there's already audio something. Put it as part of a group. Okay. So that's cool. We can do it through Mixer as well, which I hadn't tested yet. I figured it should work because I had done the speed changer and I've done a few of the others, the delay. We should go back actually. What if we do this back to fast? And then that should put us back to the rate changed one. It's going to be kind of impossible to tell the difference of. It was nice on the other one because we had the buttons on the macro pad. Although now I do know the secret sauce. We could go back to the macro pad. Secret sauce was we need to play the mixer on the output before we play the inputs on the mixer voices. The mixer here, we should put this right after. Don't think we need loop. And then we put play and voice level on the mixer voice. All right, this is on synth. I was like, those don't sound different to me. Sorry, I had the YouTube covered up for a while. My apologies, friends over there. So it's Jacob Dub says, is it because you can add multiple audio streams to the Mixer instance and play them all? So that's what Mixer can. Never mind, it has a play function, so it can be chained to other functions. Oh, this is yeah, sorry. So, and again, I'm catching up on the chat. My bad for missing this. This is when I was asking about the play on Mixer, I think. Could you put the required order for the audio statements in the comments? Yeah, we should, honestly. I think not the comments of this, really, where we should have it is on the, I have it here somewhere, I think, or... in my mind, the best place would be here. Like, ideally, I think we can make a little alert box looking thing. Like, I think we can even have like a pop out. I mean, not like a pop out. It doesn't pop up on the page or whatever, but like a box with a little eye icon or whatever that's like alert. Pay attention, hopefully. 1 second here. Yeah, we should totally have it documented, though. That's a good call. We definitely should have it documented. Or maybe, I wonder if we could, like... See, because this... Well, no, but this says true in any voice. Huh. I wonder, there might be a way to do it in the core, and we could raise an exception if you do it out of order. That would even be probably the best solution, I think, because then it's not in the documentation, it's in the code, like, it doesn't work, and it says, instead of just not doing anything, it will raise an exception that will say, this is why it's not working. Did it out of order. Yeah. I will try to look into that, because that would honestly be the best, is inside the core. If we could do it when you call mixer voice.play, if it, and this is a bunch of ifs in a row, but if it's able to access its parent mixer, right, because voices belong to mixers, if it's able to access its parent mixer and check whether that has already been played on an output, and if it hasn't, then it should raise. If that's possible, that's probably the best way to do it. Yeah, thanks for the comments over in the YouTube, by the way, folks. Okay. I think so. Mixer is working. That's cool. Let's do one of the other demos. I'm gonna plug in Feather RP2350, because this, I think, really gets at one of the like really super cool things you can do with this functionality, actually. Again, I haven't dove too far into the audio world, but I've dabbled here and there. And I think this kind of opens up a lot of possibilities for CircuitPython to be in line in audio chains as like an effects pedal type thing in digital, right? Already we can be in line for analog audio on an analog pin, or via I2S or PWM. PWM, PDM? I don't know the right thing. Anyway, we have ways to interact with audio at a more analog level, and we have I2S, and we have some digital stuff. This is letting us go to computers, though, fully digital to the PC or to other instrument devices that have USB outputs and inputs. And one of the cool things I think we could do is make like effects pedals for a digital audio chain. So the way this is set up is using both of these two new modules, these two new classes inside USB audio, speaker and microphone. It can take input from the speaker. Remember, this feels backwards, but it's because it's sort of from the PC's perspective. So PC is going to send sound to the microcontroller as though it was a speaker. We can get that sound, we can manipulate it using the effects chains, and then we can play it back out the USB as though it was the microphone back into the PC. So the PC can send some audio out to us and then get back some audio, some modified audio on the microphone channel. Now, this is kind of like relatively advanced as far as audio configurations go. I think you need either, you know, like DAW, you need audio workstation, you need like an application that's made for audio devices to be able to like very specifically choose which one's input to what and which one's output to what. Or on Linux, which is the only thing I can speak to OS-wise on Linux, I'm using Ubuntu. It has a thing called Pipewire, which is the audio driver, and it lets it be hooked up very specifically like that, although you need to either know the commands or have a GUI, and I got a GUI. But yeah, so what this one does, like I was saying, it takes the audio, it's applying effect to it, and then sending it back out. It should just start up, I think. I'm going to do that, and then it will be odd. So I wonder, what is the easiest way to test this? I want to do something. I would do the parsec, but it's so short. Okay. So I have JP playing. And what I need to be able to actually do to get this all routed. In my case, I'm using this thing. So here we have capture. So what I'm going to do is disconnect Firefox. So that stopped playing for me. You all can't hear it because I didn't pipe it through yet because it was just JP talking normally, but that stopped playing for me. So then what I can do is go from Firefox into the Feather, and then I can go out of the Feather into the built-in. So now I have the affected version, the modified version playing.
Because if you go to adafruit.com/free, you'll see that we have some incentives for spending.
So now we have JP with this lovely chorus effect where we get 3 voices and this nice delay, which gives it this sort of like metallic reverb sort of action thing going on, which is very cool. And so this is chained all, again, through the microcontroller. So we come out of the computer USB into the microcontroller, which is what this link is. And then we go back out of the microcontroller here, back into the computer USB, and in this case I have it piped directly to the output, which I can then also feed into OBS. So you probably have been hearing JP talk this whole time over me as well, or under me. But this, I think, is very cool. And right now it's just always applies. So there's no sort of like, let me pause JP here. So right now there's no like on-off switch in this code, but obviously this is just regular CircuitPython code, right? You could totally just tuck this into a guitar pedal box with a button on the top, right? And the button could control this to say on-off for the effect, and you could have it just pass through the normal audio when it's not pressed, and when you press it, it can pass through the modified audio. Pipewire. Yeah, Pipewire is, so I will freely admit I don't know that much about it, but I know, what I do know is that it is it is one of the possible audio, I call it a driver, I don't know if that's technically the correct thing, but a Linux driver for audio. And the way that it works, I'm assuming this is the project for it. So it's a project that aims to greatly improve the handling of audio on Linux. And the main, what I think where it gets the namesake is like, it has the idea of these pipes that can be connected, right? This is a really good graphical representation of what it does under the hood, where it has all these different inputs and outputs, and it has all these connections between them logically inside the driver, and then this is a GUI that goes on top of it that draws it, so you can actually understand it visually instead of in the terminal. Yeah, I agree. I think the GUI is cool. It's especially for sound stuff, right? It's like it's basically a patch panel, so it fits right into the motif. What's up, Tyeth? Over on Discord says, "What is the audio channel? What is the audio channel mixer software called? Reminds me of Jack D or something. Is that Pipewire? Yeah, it is Pipewire interface. It is called I forget the name. It has a weird name, honestly. It's called QPW Graph, and I have no idea what that means. I mean, the graph part sort of makes sense. QPW, I assume. Pipewire. Oh, PW pipewire, and then Q for QT. So QT pipewire graph is the GUI interface. I'll drop the link here as well in case anyone watches this in the future or wants easy access to it. Okay, let's try another effect. Let's really see if we can add multiple effects here. So a second ago we had fast. Let me get fast back. I want audio speed. Let's see if we can make JP a little bit chipmunk and chorus. So that sounds cool. Or we could do a mixer and we could go one regular chorus JP mixed with one chipmunk JP, so we get the best of both worlds. That could be interesting. Thinks that's well useful now. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I just basically learned of this program, this GUI for it, yesterday or the day before when I first started messing with this stuff. I kind of knew Pipewire and I kind of knew its philosophy of the plugs and the sources and outputs, but I've never actually had to dive in far enough to use the GUI thing before. I have used, what's the name of the DAW I've used? Is it LMMS? LLMS? I don't know, it looks like I might not have it installed. There's a DAW, Digital Audio Workstation. I think it's LMMS or LMS or something like that. I'll have to look up the name of it. That thing has its own built-in config, which does let you have fine-grained control over what's going where, sort of like this, but it's just inside of its own app. It's not system-wide like this patch panel one is. Mod Nicky Man says, what are we doing now? So I am working on USB audio for CircuitPython. I don't know your level of familiarity with the surrounding project and stuff, so if you don't know what CircuitPython is, let me know. I could give you the quick version. But basically, within CircuitPython, I'm making it so that it can be seen from the computer as a USB input and a USB output. So the computer can send audio to the microcontroller can send audio to the computer. You know, you can do either or in this case right here, most specifically, we're actually doing both. We're getting audio from the computer, we're manipulating it with an effects chain, and then we're sending it back to the computer to play through whatever output you want. But that's the core idea, though, is getting audio from computers and sending audio back to computers over USB with CircuitPython. So fast. This is going to be chorus, so we'll apply this after, and then we will play fast instead of the speed changer. Cool, I thought that was done in Rust and C. So CircuitPython is written in C, but it's a C program that runs on microcontrollers that allows you to write Python code to also run on the microcontroller. It's actually like a Python interpreter that is written in C that runs on the microcontrollers. And so the sort of like business end, the nitty gritty, the down under, the lower level code is all C code, but it's exposed with Python APIs here so that you can iterate quickly and work at a higher level, which is really super cool. If you have not checked out CircuitPython before, I definitely encourage that. Here, I'll pull the site back up. CircuitPython.org is the place to learn a bit more about that. Also, you can come join us on the Discord. There's always folks around. We do all the development there in the open on Discord. Okay, so this should play a fast version. Let's make it even a little bit more faster. This should play a fast version of Chorus JP. And it should just be running still. Let me come back here and start JP talking, and then we may need to redo this, I'm thinking. Yeah, we need to redo this. So because my microcontroller reset, it undid some of my links here. So now Firefox is back to going to my normal output, which I don't want. So let's delete those. And I actually need Firefox. So one thing is it gets cramped and it doesn't have a lot of order to the madness.
these badge-wear Tufty boards from Pomeroni that are in the shop now, as well as a few other things there that are new. So go check that out. And want to save money in the shop, use that coupon code. Okay, let's see, what else is going on here? Product show on Tuesdays. Looks like that. That's my product pick of the week right there. And on the show, I give you a deep discount. I give you a demo.
Okay, so that's super cool. I could spend kind of a lot of time, honestly, just sitting here playing with this and tweaking the numbers and playing different stuff, right? Going through other videos. Okay, so that's cool. So we can do the full chain as well. We can do this is the first time I'm testing multiples in the chain. Well, actually, we just did audio mixer, didn't we? Does that count as one of these things? It kind of does. I don't know for sure. Doctor Who, nice, yeah. All right, we got about 10 minutes. What else can we do? So there's speed, there's delay. What other ones of these are there? So there's free verb. Do a free verb on it. Let's try that. Let's take the chorus off. Well, let's take them both off for now, just so we get a baseline of what it is. Because I haven't messed with a lot of these. I don't know exactly what they sound like, really. Okay, audio free verb. So this one takes a bunch of stuff. So we could theoretically change all this to make it do different things. I assume we need to play. Yeah, so reverb.play. Play will do the speaker. Because again, we play the audio we get from the computer. We're going to put that into the reverb. Then we're going to play back out the result of the reverb. Oh, sample rate does not match. I think, is it set on 16? Yeah. There we go.
This is the ADS or AD. We have the AD.
I should try saving this. There is a save button. Let's try fast into the reverb. It's similar to the chorus, isn't it? Reverb is. Oh. We ended the segment. Oh.
And then just move.
Okay. So that, yeah, that is very cool. Let me try, where did I have the mixer? Let's try this. What if let's try doing instead of a chain, like a side by side. So we make a mixer. We'll say just 2 voices for now, 16. So what we'll do is we'll reverb the speaker. We'll put that on voice 0, the first voice. Reverb. We'll play on the microphone the mixer, but as we learned, we actually need to do this way up here. But then what I want is also a fast. So fast also applies to the speaker. Oh, I don't know. Can we have two of them? I guess we'll find out, won't we? And then mixer.voice1.play fast. So I want them overlaid, like the reverb JP at the normal pitch, but with the fast one overlaid.
Moves it to the left. And we are running that at the...
It also seems to move stuff around kind of randomly, this program, I've noticed.
It gives me this sort of nice moderate speed off. And then on the next...
Like here, that just jumped.
Within the message string there, I'm doing the LCD dot...
Guess I was deleting the wrong one.
or marquee feature on the character LCD.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Simple. Put together the battery box as
reset
base
itself.
for this, and then using...
I wonder if I could save this. Pedal? How do they do pedal for guitar pedals? I'm totally second guessing myself now if it's like paddle or pedal like a flower? Okay. Turn JP off. This is super cool though. I actually really like this. I love this idea of being able to make this digital effects pedal like this where we have Python code in the middle and we can really tinker. And you could have other effects, other inputs here as well, right? Like you PEDAL, okay, a mixture of the two actually. So I was two parts of half right, but all parts of not right also. Here, let me pause JP also. I think this is super cool though, the way that we can create a digital effects pedal with CircuitPython code in the middle. And this could still take other inputs, right? Right here, we just have numbers that are plopped in there, hard-coded, right? But we could have knobs, we could have an accelerometer, right? You could have something that's like reacting to other inputs. You could have light sensors. You know, you could go kind of as crazy as you want with other types of inputs and outputs to be able to manipulate what these different effects do to the sound. You could do a distance sensor to make a, what do they call the weird one? Oh, I'm not even going to be able to come up with the name. Oh, I was so confident I knew the name of that thing until it became time to say it. Pantograph? No, I don't think that's right. That is totally not right. Oh boy. Anyway, yeah, I cannot think of the name of the thing that I'm imagining, but it's like a noise making machine, and you can put your hand over it, and it theremin. That's the one. Yeah, thank you, Tyeth. Yeah, that is exactly what I'm thinking. The theremin. You could have some kind of input like that, where the analog input coming from that device could then influence the effects that you're adding to your audio sonar. Yeah, theremin. I don't know what is the actual, I'm not sure what the actual like physical principle that a theremin uses. I just know it detects your hand somehow. I imagine there's different ones at this point. All right, I think that is going to about do it for the day, though. So, USB audio, we did finish this, and we stayed at 20, so I need to go back and disable it for 20 that overflowed. I'll take a look at how many Nordics succeeded. If there's like 5 that succeeded, then maybe it's not worth... No, there's quite a few. There's a couple couple scrolls worth in there. Okay, so I'll go back through and disable it on those 20. If there's like a higher level, like fancy audio or advanced audio or something, maybe there's a higher level flag I could put it behind that would hit them all at once. But otherwise, this is there. USB microphone is merged into main now. If anyone wants to play with it, you should be able to get it with the latest builds from S3. USB speaker is in this PR here, 11062. Capacitive sensor, okay, for the theremin. But yeah, that PR is in if anyone wants to play with it. I should be back, I believe, on Tuesday at the normal time for my stream here on the Adafruit channel, 10 a.m. Central Time, that is, which is 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. And as far as I am aware, I think the plan is for Scott to return next week, though he, like I said at the top, he's on vacation. He's been out for a week or a little over a week at this point. To the best of my knowledge, I think he's planning to come back partway through this week on Thursday or something like that, and then maybe stream on Friday. So I think he'll be back next week, but I'm not 100% sure. If not, then I apologize. But I think that's what the plan is. I will be here on Tuesday for sure, one way or another. And until then, I will bid you farewell. I will say thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the folks in the chat with the good questions and comments. And I think that's it. So long, farewell, and I will see you next time.